Hey everybody, KC here. So I got a note from a friend of mine, a morning newsbeat reader, in response to yesterday's FaceTime video in which I talked about cooking, right? And one of the things I said was that I'd made this banana bread, and that I sort of made it the way I like it, which is a little bit chunkier, a little bit more banana heft to it. Um, my family tends to like it a little bit, like almost like it's out of the box where you don't get that kind of crunchiness to it. Um, but I made it the way I wanted to make it, although I didn't go the whole way because I didn't put chocolate chips in it, which is really how I like my banana bread. But my Mrs. Content guy, she doesn't like the chocolate chips, so I didn't do it that way. I thought I was trying to meet her halfway. But got a note that said, and I said, by the way, it turned out great. And then I got a note from this friend, a morning newsbeat reader, who said, words from the chef don't matter, words from the customers do. And that's actually a really good point. That is an entirely legitimate point. I made it the way I wanted to make it. But something, I like banana bread more than anybody else in the family anyway. I'm going to be the one who probably over a period of days will eat the whole thing. Uh, so he was right. I was more in this case. I was making what I wanted to make, what I thought was the better kind of banana bread. It reminds me of that wonderful movie Big Night with Stanley Tucci, which is right about the conflict between art and commerce in this Italian restaurant in New Jersey in the 50s, where the chef wants to make risotto because that's authentic, and people come in and they want spaghetti and meatballs. And it's like that's right. They have those two kinds of things. I've always sort of sided with the chef on that one. I think it's important to have spaghetti and meatballs for the people who want it, but I also think it's important to kind of raise the level of the conversation to be a little bit more aspirational. But maybe it's a good thing I'm not a professional chef and I don't own a restaurant. The other thing I want to talk about this morning is I wanted to tell you about something I heard over the weekend, and I want to be very clear. This is not political. What I'm going to tell you right now is not political in any way, shape, or form, but it really is about how to tell a story. And I was watching over the weekend, and Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, was talking about all the shutdowns in New York because of the pandemic. And he came on, and normally he does these long press conferences, and then he talks. He'll often say, "Now I want to make a personal comment." And he said, "Well, somebody said to me this week, this is pretty much the way he said it. Somebody came to me this week and said, I can't do this anymore." Because I can't stand it. I just can't do it anymore. It's been way too long. And he said, I'm not going to tell you who that was. Well, I'm going to tell you it was one of my daughters told me, but I'm not going to tell you which one. I want to respect their privacy. I'm thinking to myself, I think you have two daughters. You're already in a lot of trouble. And he goes, I understand. It's been 56 days. He says, that's a long time. He goes, but the Depression lasted 4 years. World War One lasted 4 years. World War II lasted 4 or 5 years. The Vietnam War lasted 8 years. It's been 56 days. I know it's hard. But the thing is, 56 days ago, people were rejecting we're going to have X number of deaths that have not taken place because the citizens of New York have actually done what we asked them to do in terms of sheltering at home, using masks, using gloves, really trying to practice social distancing and staying at home. So the reason we haven't had those deaths is because people did what we thought was the right thing to do. So when you think about those 56 days, don't think of it as being deprived of living your life the way you want to live it. Think of it as having saved people's lives. When you didn't do the things you wanted to do, people didn't die because of it. And he said, and any day where you save a life is a good day. Now that's how to tell a story, right? You lay out the problem and then you address it and you put it in the most human and compassionate terms that you possibly can. I thought it was pretty good. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.